Hello, hello. Welcome to another conversation lesson. Let's jump into it today. I'm going to open our Ingu website. Where is it now? There we go. All right, so let's see which article shall we do today. Dun, 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 dun. What are you guys feeling for? Uh, something something heavy, something difficult. Let's go with uh, best-selling albums. It's the weekend. Let's look at something light. Best-selling albums of all time. All right. So before I forget to mention, as always, you guys can come here to ingu.com and work through some of these articles with a friend or just by yourself if you'd like. You can just read the article and answer the questions out loud to yourself. You don't have to have an actual conversation, but you have to practice speaking, right? Okay. Well, let's start with the vocabulary. As always, I'll read it first. I'd like you to hit pause after each word. Then you read it out loud. Make sure you understand each word before you move on. First one, single, a song usually released separately from an album. Purple Rain was one of Prince's best-selling singles. Associate, to connect two things in one's mind, to be connected with something. I always used to associate Christmas with winter until I moved to Australia. Then they have another one here for us. Research has found that taking short breaks at work is associated with increased productivity. Then we've got record, or a record. Yeah. A record, a piece or collection of recorded music. My brother has a huge record collection. So that's the noun. Record, to record something is like a verb form of it. So the pronunciation is a little different. To record and record. Then certified, officially recognized as having or meeting certain qualifications, standards, etc. Nadia became a certified pilot at the age of 20. Nadia. Then we've got country music, a genre of music from the southern US that often features the fiddle, banjo, and guitar. Country music singer Dolly Parton recorded her first solo single in 1968. Okay, going to move right to our article. Again, I'm going to read it all out loud. I'd like you to hit pause after each little paragraph. Read it out loud. Make sure you got the pronunciation down, okay? Here we go. So what are the best-selling albums of all time? While plays of popular singles on YouTube or Spotify are often in the billions, the numbers associated with the best-selling albums of all time are a little smaller. However, they're still important to musicians. The Recording Industry Association of America, RIAA, has been keeping records of, records since the 1950s. And Californian country rock band The Eagles, perhaps a surprise to some people, tops its list of best-selling albums with their greatest hits 1971 to 1975. Released in 1976, long before stars of today like Taylor Swift and Drake were even born, 38 million certified units have been sold since, says the RIAA. Certified units are sales of albums, the sort that you can buy in a shop, as well as streams and song downloads. According to the RIAA, 1,500 streams or 10 songs downloads are equal to one album sale. The Eagles also have the third biggest selling album with 1976's Hotel California, which includes the popular song of the same name. Formed in the early 1970s, they still play concerts, although without founding member Glenn Frey, who died in 2016. Michael Jackson's Thriller is second on the list with 34 million units sold, while albums by rock band AC/DC and Led Zeppelin are also in the top 5. Led Zeppelin, country music singer Garth Brooks, and the Beatles all have 3 albums in the top 50. The first album on the list to have been released after 2000 is down in 30th place. That's Adele's 2011 album 21 with 14 million certified units. All right. Well, let's have a look here. They show us what's it, the top 12 best-selling albums of all time. So Eagles, Michael Jackson, Eagles, AC/DC, Led Zeppelin, Beatles, Billy Joel, Pink Floyd, Garth Brooks, Hootie and the Blowfish, Fleetwood Mac, Shania Twain. All right. And then we go from 13 to 25. Garth Brooks, Guns N' Roses, Whitney Houston, Boston, Bruce Springsteen, Elton John, The Beatles, Alanis Morissette, Bee Gees, Led Zeppelin, Metallica, Bob Marley, and the Wailers, and Journey. Okay. Interesting. Well, we've got three questions related to the articles. I always do terrible with these. We're going to read the questions. I'd like you to try and answer it without looking back. Just try and remember what we read about. And then I'll try and answer them. Usually with numbers, I do terrible with numbers. And then we'll go back and have a look. I'm going to do so bad with this one. What is the name of the best-selling album by the Eagles? You guys remember? How many album sales is 1,500 streams equal to? How many albums released after 2000 are in the top 10 best-selling albums of all time? All right, so did you get it? Are you sure of your answers? I'm usually not that sure. So what's the name of the best-selling album? Wasn't it the greatest hits from 1971 to 75 or 74? Like the greatest hits, 1971 to 73, released in 74, I think. How many album sales, 1,500 streams equaled? I think isn't it one? Just one album? How many albums released after 2000 are in the top 10 best-selling albums of all time? Isn't it 0? The first one is like on the 30th place or something. Well, let's have a look. Name of the best-selling album by the Eagles. Eagles, the greatest hit, 71 to 75. Oh, you see, mere numbers. Terrible. But the greatest hits, I got that. Then how many albums? 1,500 streams. Let's go look here. They said, according to 1,500 streams or 10 songs are equal to one album sale. All right, so that's also right. And how many albums released after 2000 are in the top 10? And where was it? First album on the list to have been released after 2000 is in 30th place. So 0, yeah. Which kind of makes sense, right? The others had more time to sell. So if you're in the top 10 after only 20 years, means you're selling very well in a short period of time, no? Well, let's have a discussion about that. I'm sure that's going to be one of the questions here. So again, I'm going to read the question, then I'll answer it. You can either hit pause before I answer it or after, and then you can answer first, listen if we've got similar opinions, or you can listen to my answer first, and then you can respond to that. Say you agree with something or you disagree or you have similar ideas or, whatever it may be. So what are your thoughts on the best-selling albums of all times? Yeah, I love music. I'm terrible at remembering names of songs and bands and whatever. So I didn't even know the name The Eagles when they said it until they said the Hotel California, just because it's in Welcome to the Hotel California. If it wasn't for that, I probably wouldn't even have known the song unless I heard it. But yeah, all the ones in the top 10 bands that I know, albums and songs that I have heard before. So I'm not that surprised, right? And then also they're quite old, so they have a lot of time. They've been selling them for 40, 50 years. So obviously they'll sell more over a longer period of time than an album released in 2010. Okay, so do you find it surprising that the Eagles are the top of the list? A little bit. I would have thought like the Beatles. But this isn't just American, right? Is this just American? Surely not. The Beatles. Yeah, the Beatles is number six. I would have thought that the Beatles or somebody like Michael Jackson might have been number one. But yeah, it's a little bit surprising. But again, I know the song, so it's like, yeah, I know this song, but I would have thought something else might have been the top. Number three, do you listen to any of the musicians featured in the article? Yes. I um I like all kinds of music, so I'll listen to any genre. Classic, rap, hip hop, metal, country, anything. Anything. Yeah, so let's see. In the top 10, I'll listen to this Eagles. I listen to that Hotel California kind of music. I listen to Michael Jackson, AC/DC, yeah, Led Zeppelin, yes, the Beatles, yeah, Billy Joel, yes, Pink Floyd, I will, Garth Brooks, yes, I'll listen. I don't know Fleetwood Mac. I don't know this name. I probably know the song that maybe if I hear a song, I would know it, but yeah, I'll listen to all these people. No problem at all. How many physical albums do you own? Zero. Who owns albums anymore? Unless you somebody, like an audiophile, the people that love having these great quality sound systems and they'll have a record player with the albums, it's more of a collector's kind of thing these days. When I was younger, you'd buy CDs and copy CDs from friends. You'd buy CDs or cassettes but nowadays with things like Spotify or these online streaming apps, I don't own anything. I had a bunch of CDs that I got from a friend who passed away, and it's just I threw them away the other day because I've got a CD player in the car, but even I mean my radio in the car connects to my phone, and I just stream music from my phone. It's so much easier than where you go flipping through CDs and putting in, and then you get bored and you have to take it out and flip through again. It's like, ugh, no. So I don't own any albums. What are your favorite albums of all time? Again, I'm not big on albums as such. Like songs, specific songs would be like, yeah, that's a great song. But even if you ask me my favorite song of all time, uh, probably something by Queen. Maybe I would say Queen's greatest hits. I really like Queen. He's got such a great voice. He can sing any range of tone. So yeah, probably something by Queen. For the discussion, number one, who are your country's most successful musicians? Oh dear. Um, in Thailand, I have no idea about Thai musicians. No idea whatsoever. South Africa, if you probably if you ask South African people in South Africa, they'd probably say somebody like Steve Hofmeyer, which is like an Afrikaans singer, and he's been making music since I was a little kid, and he's still making probably the most popular South African or Afrikaans songs, Afrikaans music. But then if you have to ask overseas people, probably most people would say the Antwoord, which is like this rap group, and they make kind of, I don't know, weird rap music. But I like, I'm saying weird, but I actually like their music as well. But they're a little bit weird. Um, but I listen to their music too. So probably the Antwoord for international people. Okay, number two, do you listen to a lot of music made outside your country? Yes, most music I listen to is outside of my country. Um, but I haven't been back to South Africa now for 5 years. So recently I have started listening to a lot of South African music just to kind of like, kind of miss home and you want to hear music and things, a lot of times they'll reference things from your culture. So it's like nice to hear all of these references. So I have been listening to more music from South Africa in the past year or two, but most of my music is from outside my country. All right. Number three, what musicians do you think you'll never get tired of listening to? Probably Queen. But again, you listen to somebody and then it's like, okay, had enough of them. And then you listen to something else. And then after a year, you go back and it's like, I like this song again. You listen to that again. So many musicians. Um, yeah, so many. I almost mainly listen to older music, not latest release. Things that are 10 years and older is what I would listen to. More in the range of 20, 30 years old. I'm getting old. Number four, when was the last time you discovered a new musician or band? Um, yeah, it was earlier this year. People might think this is silly, but um, I watched a I watched an interview with James Corden, and he had on Lizzo, and I haven't really heard much of her because for me, she's kind of new, but I think she's extremely famous, so a lot of people would know her already. But then and I think they did a carpool karaoke, and and I was like, oh, that's really nice. So I started listening to Lizzo within the last year. Yeah. Number five, what musicians from today do you think will remain popular for decades? Ooh. I know in the US, country music's so popular in the US, so probably somebody like Garth Brooks, um, because he's so famous in the US. So and country music is kind of ageless, it doesn't change with the times. Or it does, but how can I say? I don't know. I think Garth Brooks maybe, but yeah, I don't know. Probably somebody like I listen a lot to him now because it's Christmas time. What's his name again? Sounds like a modern day Frank Sinatra. Um, Michael Bublé. I think again, it's just like a timeless kind of music. So you can always listen to it, and especially over Christmas time, he makes the best Christmas music. So if you're looking for Christmas music, Michael Bublé. Yeah. All right. Well, that is it. That's it, guys. So let me stop that. Yeah. Yeah. If you have any questions or if you have any opinions or anything you'd like to share, type it in the comments and let's have a chat. All right. That's it for today. I'll see you guys next time. Bye bye.